Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of I Play Games and Film It. Just a quick episode I wanted to do on some of the misconceptions I've personally had about doing a gaming channel, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and it's certainly taken control over recent activities I've had with the channel. So, I want to start with number one. Now, I know that there are a lot of channels on YouTube. I know that there's a lot of people posting on YouTube in general. However, if anyone were to imagine how many channels there actually were and how many other people were actually doing gaming channels, you probably want to multiply that by, I reckon, 4 or 5. Because at the moment, I would make a wild guess and reckon that there's somewhere in the region of hundreds of thousands of channels, and that's after I multiplied it by 4 or 5, because I did think, okay, yeah, it's going to be a popular thing, of course, because people think they could just, you know, play games and put it on the internet and have a great time, and it's all hunky-dory and fun. So a lot of people were going to do it. However, you know, in research, when you look around YouTube and take a look at what's going on, it is incredible how many different channels there actually are, because there'll be some that kind of gear more towards AAA titles, some will gear towards indie titles, some will probably gear towards just doing reviews, some will do kind of little mock-ups of games and do funny videos and stuff like that. But there are so many, and it's really important for anyone who wants to start their own channel to consider the same thing, because essentially it's not competition so much, but it is technically, you know, another place that your potential viewers could go to get exactly the same thing and perhaps even better. So it's certainly something I wasn't aware of that I'm now thankfully very aware of, because beforehand I really didn't realize how many channels there were, and it was rather overwhelming. So yeah, that's the first misconception I had about doing a gaming channel, definitely. Okay, the second misconception I had about a gaming channel was actually the passion that you had to have to do it. Now, I know that passion does get you a long way. It certainly does help you stay motivated, and it kind of keeps you enthused for longer to allow you to kind of keep doing it for a longer period. But I don't think that really carries you quite so far, because on top of the passion you have, you also have to have focus and understand what you're going to do with the channel. Because your passion for video games, for example, can't be enough alone to create a channel that will prosper or go anywhere or do anything. You'll probably end up with the same number of subscribers who are probably like your close-knit friends and family and so on, who will watch what you're doing, and that's it. And you'll stay that way for quite a while, unless you got lucky at a viral video that went out, you know, something like that. But your passion alone will not carry you, and that's something that I've realised, I suppose, because I do love games. I think everyone who knows me, and certainly by now I'd hope everyone who's subscribed to the channel will know that I absolutely adore video games. I love them. But that's not going to be the ultimatum of my getting more subscribers, making more videos and so on. It's going to have to be a case of I've got to think further than that and just use that passion to continue doing so. So yeah, when I started, it was very naive of me, but I did honestly think, like, well, you know, I love video games, I love playing them, and I love, you know, talking, obviously. so that should be fine. Yeah, I know, I'll get on with it. That'll be absolutely fine. That's all I need. But no, it's absolutely not in the slightest. You have to go further than that. So that was another misconception I had as well. Alright, the next misconception I had was how you managed your channel, to be honest. Again, I don't know how I managed to miss this part of it all. But when you have a channel on YouTube, it's very important to have a theme so that you can understand what your channel's actually about. Because again, it's really naive to think that people would just go to your channel purely just to watch what you're doing. You know, you need to have purpose, you need to have reason, you need to have consistency across your channel as well, so that people know when they subscribe to you, they're going to get the same thing over and over again. Not exactly the same thing, of course, but the same essence from your videos. And that's really important, because if you were just literally just playing games, and perhaps doing some minor commentary over the top, and that's all you did, it would probably go reasonably well. But again, I think that podium's already been taken, and we've already got channels of people doing that, and they are doing very well with it. So it's kind of you have to kind of think a little bit further outside the box of just going, yeah, I'll just play a game, sit here, and just talk about the game and stuff, that'll be fine. That'll do me just fine. Because I've seen a few channels that have done that, and even I can find them quite mundane and quite dull. Perhaps maybe it's a little, maybe a lack of personality. Not to be mean, but some people just, unfortunately, they do drone a little bit, and they kind of do carry on a little bit. So it's about having a little bit more than that. Certainly having a theme, and then building your channel art, and maybe your logos, whatever, around that theme, so that people feel they're getting involved in a solid package that you've created. It doesn't have to be something like super commercial, so it looks like a business, but just so that they feel like there is consistency and there is a package that they're subscribing to, not necessarily just some person who's just just chilling, really. Unless that person again is particularly entertaining, but then that's obviously a part of the theme of their channel. So that's something I didn't really consider until later on, and something I wish I had considered much earlier on, definitely. That's another misconception I had. Okay, so this one is quite interesting, actually, because obviously what I do, this is great. I'll give you an example. A guy who's an ex-banker, he was very well ex-banker. He's training to be an investment banker, earn the big bucks and work 12 hours a day, 7 hours a week plus, and he stopped doing it because he didn't want to do it. He asked me what I did. I said, well, I'm a supervisor in a restaurant, but I also kind of make videos for YouTube in my spare time. And he was like, oh, see, that sounds like so much fun. And I was thinking, first of all, it made me feel really good. Because someone of that background kind of almost being jealous of what I did. I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. And I kind of, made me feel, yeah, it is good fun, and I do enjoy it. However, in the 2.5 months I say I've been doing this, it hasn't been all fun and games, and I have to say, to a point, it can't be. There has to be those times when, unfortunately, the fun has to stop. When I say that, what I'm talking about is, yes, enjoy yourself when you're making the videos, enjoy yourself when you're finding out what new games to play and doing your research and so on. But there will be times when, for example, you've done a full video, you filmed the whole thing, and then found out that it hasn't recorded properly, or found out that the video's not actually that entertaining, or perhaps your battery died halfway through the video, which some of you may know is not uncommon to me. Well, I wasn't in the past anyway. I'm working on the the fixes for that, to be honest. But it hasn't happened in a while, which is good. But I've now decided that if that happens, I can't post a video, which is really annoying. Really annoying. There's a handful of videos that I wish I could have posted, but just couldn't go out because something went wrong. And that is painful. That is painful because you spent 15-20 minutes setting everything up, filming it, getting it processed and so on, only to find out that it was a massive waste of time. And certainly when you're running series, that's really difficult. So it's not all fun and games, and it's something that people should be wary of, and something I should have been wary of certainly when I started. I'm a big kind of chaser for fun and enjoyment, and so on. I think if I'd have just been more wary of it, then I think when it happened the first time and the second time and so on, I may not have got so pissed off about it. But it's still all worth it. I mean, there is a lot of fun and games involved in it, but it's just stuff like that I just wish I'd realised and thought about beforehand. But I'm aware of it now, so it's all a learning process. And finally, one of the last misconceptions that I'd had when I started doing a gaming channel was how much time it took up. I'm actually surprised that I managed to find the time to do this. Like I said, I work between 50 and 65 hours a week in my job. So in that time, spending time with the girlfriend, being able to sleep at some point, with the rendering and editing and posting and so on, I'm actually amazed at the fact that I do find time to do this. But it does take up a lot of time. Like I said, we're talking, let's say, average 20 minutes per video. That's from setting it up, filming it, and then getting it put into its folder and so on. From starting the setup to the post, we're talking about 5 hours for one video. That's one video. And obviously at the moment I'm trying to work on doing about 2 videos a day. Well, that's what I want to do, 2 videos a day. So that's 10 hours I have to find somewhere of filming and editing and rendering and so on per day, essentially. And that's how much time it actually takes up. It's a phenomenal amount of time, and I just can't believe I've managed to find the time to do that. I guess that is kind of linked to the passion. I do love doing this. I really enjoy doing this, and I hope that shows. But I certainly feel it. I absolutely adore filming, and I love playing the games while I do so. So that helps, but. It's just phenomenal. It's just incredible when I actually calculated how much time I needed to put aside just to get this thing done on a daily basis. It's just stupid. It's really stupid. And that's something, again, I wish I'd realised beforehand, because then it would have allowed me to start planning things sooner. And I'd just be better at it now than I was back then. But I'm getting there, I'm getting used to it. But no, there you go. Those are some of the misconceptions I had about starting up a channel, and it's certainly some of the things that I think other people should probably be aware of if they want to start a channel as well. By all means, I'm sure those of you who are watching this are probably considering or have considered looking at other videos to see how to start a channel of any sort, gaming or personal blogs or whatever. And so things like just keep posting. Make sure you tag it properly, be consistent, make sure it's entertaining, and so on. Make sure you're involved with the viewer and things like that. That's all very, very true, absolutely. But there are just certain things that you don't want to forget when you start it up, and certainly things in terms of the amount of time you spend doing it, etc., etc., etc. But guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, comment, click the thumb button, share with a friend if you like, and I will see you in another episode of I Play Games and Film It. You have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.